everyone. Abstract Tiger Productions here. I'm Chris.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with another episode of RWBY. Last time on RWBY. this week on the last time. We had the last time was the last week. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm just rambling now. Okay, last time we had what happened? We had a fight with Pyrrha actually throwing her shield.
Yes. The Mighty Shield.
Yes, the Mighty Shield.
Pyrrha versus Cardinal. Pyrrha won. Pyrrha versus Mercury. He forfeited.
Yes.
Sun asked Blake to the dance.
Wow. Yes, that happened later in the episode. And she turned him down.
Yes.
Because she thinks the dance is a whole, big waste of time. Because she's, obsessing over what's going on with Torchwick and White Fang and all that. And
right.
Apparently not eating or sleeping very well at all, if any.
Right. Jean asked Weiss out. And he did it while singing terribly.
Yeah.
But he can play guitar, so that's a positive.
Yes.
After she says no, it shows Jean and Pyrrha training.
Training, yeah.
And he straight up friend zone Pyrrha.
Yeah, you could probably say that. That's probably an oversimplification, but yes.
Weiss and Yang are heading the dance committee.
Yeah.
Then it shows at the very end Cinder, Neptune, and Emerald. No, sorry. Cinder, Mercury, and Emerald are planning something in regards to
who knows what?
Understanding Pyrrha's semblance.
Yeah, that was one of the things that they were doing. Yeah, but they've got some bigger plan in the works.
Well, I put something to do with hair, and then you corrected me and said it's a needle, so I kind of scribbled that out.
Oh, yes. Because Cinder was sewing something.
Yes.
Probably a dress of some sort.
Right.
That really happened. That's what happened in a nutshell. Yes. This time is episode 6.
Yes.
Let's get ready to see what's gonna happen.
Yep.
All right. Let's do this.
I mean, I don't. So.
Well, I know story beats. I don't know a specific episode what happens in them. Though I may go like, oh yeah, I remember this. This was in this episode eventually. But
as soon as the intro starts, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I've seen this one."
Okay, sure. All right, play.
There's a point where it tips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it bends, and a point we just can't take anymore. There's a line that will cross and there's no return. There's a time and a place, no bridges left to burn anymore. We can't just wait with lives at stake until they think we're ready. Our enemies are gathering, our storm is growing louder. Now it's time to say goodbye to the things for love and the innocence of God. All the time seems to fall, breaking every heart, and the solitude of peace we always knew.
I need you to pick a tablecloth.
Uh-oh.
Aren't they both the same? I don't even know why I asked.
They were both gray. Okay.
So, have you picked out a dress yet? What's the point? Who cares about the dance if Blake isn't going?
Oh, don't worry. She's going.
Weiss! I thought we agreed. No doilies. If I don't get doilies, you don't get fog machines.
Your dance is gonna have fog machines?
We were thinking about it.
That's pretty cool.
You ladies all excited for dress up?
Yeah, right.
Laugh all you want. I'll be turning heads tomorrow night.
What are you two wearing?
this?
Ignore him, for he knows not what he says.
Hey, I may have moved to Mistral, but I grew up in Vacuo. It's not exactly a shirt and tie kind of place.
Yeah, we've noticed.
So, what does Blake think of all this? She's still being all, you know, Blakey?
Obviously. I still can't think of a way to change her mind.
Guys, trust me, Blake will be at the dance tomorrow.
That's ominous.
It's a cat with a laser pointer.
I see that. Are they doing that to be mean to her because she's a faunus?
Just watch.
Hello! What do you... We need to talk.
Ren's workout routine?
I see that.
We need to talk. Ren, I'm just gonna come out and say it. You are one of my best friends. These past few months, I feel like we've really bonded. Even though you don't say much. I mean, you're really quiet.
Are you sitting on
To
him?
be perfectly honest,
No.
I don't know that much about you personally, but darn it, I consider you to be the brother I never had.
And I you.
Which is why I wanted to get your advice on girls.
Girls.
I just don't know how to girls.
I don't know how to
I
girls.
guess what I'm asking is, well, how did you and Nora, you know?
We're not actually together.
Nora, I said headphones on.
John, what is this all about?
It's Weiss. I'm completely head over heels for her, and she won't even give me a chance. She's cold, but she's also incredible. She's smart and graceful and talented. I mean, have you heard her sing? I just wish she'd take me seriously, you know? I wish I could tell her how I feel without messing it all up.
Then do it.
What?
Tell her exactly what you've just said. No ridiculous schemes, no pickup lines. Just be honest.
But what?
Jean, you can't get it wrong if it's the truth.
You're right. Thanks, Pyrrha. Good talk, Ren.
He sat there and did not said nothing.
Practice what you preach, Pyrrha.
Yeah, and if you're going to tell me to stop, you may as well just save your breath. I don't want you to stop. I want you to slow down. We don't have the luxury to slow down. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. The necessity is stopping Torchwick, and we're going to. But first, you have to sit down and listen to what I have to say. Fine. Ruby and I grew up in Patch, an island just off the coast of Vale. Our parents were huntsmen. Our dad taught at Signal, and our mom would take on missions around the kingdom. Her name was Summer Rose, and she was like super mom, baker of cookies and slayer of giant monsters. And then, one day she left for a mission and never came back. It was tough. Ruby was really torn up, but I think she was still too young to really get what was going on, you know? And my dad just kinda shut down. It wasn't long before I learned why. Summer wasn't the first love he'd lost. She was the second. The first was my mom. He wouldn't tell me everything, but I learned that the two of them had been on a team together with Summer and Crow, and that she'd left me with him just after I was born. No one had seen her since.
Why did she leave you?
That question. Why? I didn't know the answer, but I was determined to find out. It was all I thought about. I would ask anybody I could what they knew about her. Then, one day, I found something. What I thought was a clue that could lead me to answers. Or maybe even my mother. I waited for Dad to leave the house, put Ruby in a wagon, and headed out.
A wagon?
I must have walked for hours. I had cuts and bruises, was totally exhausted, but I wasn't gonna let anything stop me. When we finally got there, I could barely stand. But I didn't care. I had made it. And then I saw them. Those burning red eyes. There we were, a toddler asleep in the back of a wagon and a stupid girl too exhausted to even cry for help. We might as well have been served on a silver platter. But, as luck would have it, our uncle showed up just in time. My stubbornness should have gotten us killed that night.
Yang, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I understand what you're trying to tell me, but this is different. I'm not a child, and this isn't just a search for answers. I can't just—
I told you, I'm not telling you to stop. I haven't. To this day, I still want to know what happened to my mother and why she left me, but I will never let that search control me. We're going to find the answers we're looking for, Blake. But if we destroy ourselves in the process, then what good are we?
You don't understand. I'm the only one who can do this.
No, you don't understand. If Roman Torch had walked through that door, what would you do?
I'd fight him.
You'd lose.
I can't stop him.
You can't even stop me. I'm not asking you to stop. Just please, get some rest. Not just for you, but for the people you care about. And if you feel like coming out tomorrow, I'll save you a dance.
Neptune!
Oh, hey, what's up?
I know this is a little unorthodox, but I wanted to ask you something. Would you like to accompany me to the dance tomorrow?
Oh, you look beautiful! Can we have a serious talk about how Weiss fights in these?
Stupid, dumb neck trap.
Very appropriate name for a tie. Neck trap. Aw.
So, does this mean we're going together?
Technically, though my first dance is spoken for.
Aww.
Still wearing jeans.
Oh, yeah.
I told you she would come.
Mission accomplished.
So, what do we do now?
Just have fun.
Does that mean I can change out of these stupid things and into my hood now? Stupid lady stilts.
Not enjoying
Lady
yourself?
stilts.
Lady stilts.
Oh, no. Everything's fine. I'm just not much of a fancy dancy girl.
Well, you can't spend your entire life on the battlefield, even if you may want to.
Yeah, that lesson's been floating around a lot lately.
If you think about it, fighting and dancing aren't so different. Two partners interlocked. Although, one wrong move on the ballroom merely leads to a swollen foot.
Or a twisted ankle.
It's not every day that friends are able to come together like this. Time has a way of testing our bonds. But it's nights like these that can help keep them stronger than ever. Nights like these are ones we'll never forget.
You guys are just in time.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Whenever I think
Jeez, that's a loud song. But wow, I did not expect that to be credits. But okay. And episode 6 in the books. Yar. I don't know why I went pirate with that, but okay. Yar, it'd be a pirate dance. No, not really. Yeah, we had a couple of little talks in this episode.
Yeah.
One was a little bit more serious than the other, but still, you know, both had their merits.
So I got Yang took Blake, Jean took Ren, Blake and Sun went to dance. Weiss asked Neptune, but we had an unconfirmed answer. He never was.
Yeah.
Jean walked away before we could hear an answer.
Right.
Ozpin talks to Ruby, and then Mercury and Emerald show up.
Yep. Yes, those are the people who went to the dance. Yes.
Yeah. Well. Roll call.
Yeah. Yes. If you're not on the list, you can't get in. Sorry. Probably not how that
I mean,
works,
that looked like basically what Yang was doing was she was like taking list at the door.
I would say it would be more of like a guest list or something like that. People
Yeah.
who showed up. Okay, just put your name here or whatever, or sign your name on here or whatever. Or if since everybody was invited, it's just how many people actually showed up or something.
Ruby hates heels.
Yes, Ruby hates heels, and Sun hates ties.
Neck traps.
And forever, a tie is now called a neck trap. In my head.
I'll hold you to that.
Okay.
I
have never worn an actual, real, official tie.
Really?
No, I take that back. I have once in my entire life, and it was for my I have two sisters. One of them I had their wedding. I mentioned Myra before.
Mm-hmm.
For her wedding, I actually wore a real tie.
Oh.
The rest of the time, any of the other weddings that I have gone to, I didn't wear one. Though I don't consider for Jonathan's wedding, we wore like clip-on bow ties, which are different. So that's the only other times is working like clip-ons or something like that. Other than that, if I'm at a wedding or something like that, I usually am videoing it for them. So I have to be have to dress up, yes, but definitely not like just shirt and jeans like Sun. I mean, granted, he did put on a different shirt.
He put on a different shirt
and
buttoned up the shirt so his abs weren't hanging
as
out.
much.
Well, it was like right here.
Yeah.
So
you get to see his pecs still.
Yeah. There was no collar for the necktie to go around, so that's probably why it was annoying him so much.
Because he didn't button it all the way up. Because most button-up shirts, they have a special button for that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying like he wasn't wearing it on the collar.
Yeah. And then we had before the dance, we had Weiss stupidly ask or sillily ask Ruby, which one of these should we pick?
Yes.
And they were both gray squares. Well, I don't know which one's which, but I'm sure that they was like, no, this one's like eggshell, or this one's like whatever. Two different colors of gray that looks very similar but have two different names.
Right.
But we did have a couple of, like I said, talks in the episode 1. We got a little bit more backstory about Yang and RWBY.
Yeah. Apparently they're only half sisters. I thought they were full blood, but
they are half sisters. I didn't know if the last names would have been a giveaway for that, because it's Ruby Rose and Weiss Xiaolong.
Yang
Xiaolong. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I.
It probably didn't really click. Because they only.
The context of the show, everyone's name has a meaning, and so I didn't know if the last names were relevant.
Yes.
Jean Arc is Joan of Arc on it,
right?
Obviously,
Things like that. But
so
that is like his last name is Arc,
right.
So
and then she's part of the Schnee Empire. So
right, she is
talking about Weiss.
Yes, Weiss.
Yeah.
She does have her, of course, mom and dad that we have only heard about in passing. Obviously,
right.
Last name Schnee. So, but yes, we got to say that Ruby's mom was named Summer Rose.
Mm-hmm. I didn't write that down. I should have.
Yes, it's important.
Summer Rose.
And then Yang has yet to name drop her mom, but
yeah, something long, I'm assuming.
Xiaolong, I think, is her dad's name, her dad's last name. I don't know why Ruby has roses. Unless it's like something to do, like opposite here.
Oh, gotcha.
To our universe, as it were. Maybe the children take the mother's last name as opposed to, or something like that. I don't know.
Possibly. I'm not sure.
Well, not sure. It's not really. I mean, if it is, it's probably in some supplemental, material that I have not delved into. But obviously, Ruby's mom, Summer, was the better of the two. Yes. Because she, Yang's mom, just after discovering apparently she was pregnant with Yang, she just dumped him on her father and then left.
Yeah.
Whereas Ruby, baker of cookies and slayer of monsters.
Yeah.
So, and of course Yang has been kind of have this thing, we're find out what happened, where'd she go, what was the deal, and whatnot. And also, having that talk with Blake about her obsession.
Yeah.
Comparing the two, the obsessions, it was just, obviously if Uncle Crow hadn't have showed up,
yeah,
it would have been.
We would not have a show.
Yeah. Two of our main characters would not be in this show. But, obviously Yang's words resonated finally with Blake and kind of broke through that obsessiveness and was able to talk her into coming to the dance. And then the other talk we had was with Ren and just a towel and Jean talking about that, trying to talk with Ren.
Yes.
He just sat there.
He talked to
awkwardly. Yes. Even though she's supposed to keep her headphones on. But the main distraction was probably Ren sitting on the bed in nothing but a towel.
He kept reaching for his clothes.
He was just like, can I get this now? Awkward.
Again, I didn't realize, and because the Team RWBY is all girls.
Yeah.
It keeps surprising me every time I see that they're cohabitating boys and girls in the storm. It's just my brain doesn't function like that.
Yes.
I went to a Christian college. They were on complete opposite ends of the campus. So just like my brain is just
even in secular colleges, the dorms are separate there is no cohabitation.
Yeah, they'll be on the same floor, but they won't be.
Yeah, they'll be. Well, maybe in the same building, different floors or something of that nature.
Oh.
Or in some cases, if depending on the size of the school, separate buildings will be. This is like guys or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have guys and girls as roommates.
Nope.
As far as I know, at least not here in Arkansas.
Which keeps the maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. I was gonna say unplanned pregnancies down, but
that's a big oof right there.
But who knows? Life finds a way.
Wow. I really hope Lauren cuts that. That was so bad. Not the life finds a way part, but the.
It would be there with no context. What? Anyway.
No. Just talk about the cohabitation of the dorms. They weren't roommates or anything. Leave the unplanned pregnancy part out, and then just life finds a way, and let them assume what we mean, instead of just oofing all over a COPPA certified YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, I always mark these not suitable for children whenever I do this. Make sure, because that's a default the way I've got it set. So, there better be no children watching this. Not, you go get your parents and tell them to turn it off. Anyways,
go do your homework. School's in session.
Yes, at least at the time of this recording. If you're watching this like another year, you might, like 11 months, you might be, I don't know. It depends on if they have year-round school or not. I know some places have year-round schools, and they only like break for maybe like a month for summer vacation.
Yeah.
I couldn't bear that. Pyrrha came in the middle of their talk and gave some advice.
Yes, I have that in my notes.
Yes.
Yes, Pyrrha helps Jean.
Yes. Just be honest, be yourself. No weird singing. Terrible singing.
Terrible singing.
Or, anything like that. And then when Jean left the room...
I hope Ren got dressed.
What?
I'm hoping Ren got dressed.
I'm sure he did at some point.
Oh, we're not actually dating. Wait, what?
Future. Spoilers!
Done!
But, anyways, as I was going to say, after Jean left the room, Nora made the quip saying you should, practice what you preach.
Yes, indeed. Because Pyrrha is holding a torch for Jean, who's holding a torch for Weiss, who is trying to get with Neptune, who could care less because he just wants food and to spend time with Sun.
And
in a nutshell?
Yeah, I guess. Yes, to a certain degree, yes.
I was like, every time we've seen Neptune, he talks about food. So, because he showed up during the food fight.
Well, he was just wrong place, wrong time. He just got covered in food. But, anyways, we shall see how things turn out.
Yeah.
And then, with this party. Because obviously the night is just starting. Whatnot.
Yeah, it was very ominous the way that Mercury and Emerald just walked in. Is there about to be a fight in the middle of, like, prom, essentially?
Prom?
No, the dance.
Yeah, I know.
But it's essentially like a prom.
It is kind of like a prom. I guess you could have called it that. I mean, but...
It would be more of their homecoming. Yeah. Is it still the first semester, or would technically Volume 2 be the second semester?
Maybe the second semester, or there's this... Yeah, something else. I don't know.
We're going to call it prom, just until we know otherwise. I'm not going to keep calling it the random dance that doesn't make any sense.
We also got a display of, just very briefly, of Yang's strength by carrying that gigantic speaker.
Oh, she's been carrying ridiculously heavy things ever since we first met her. This is the first one that was comedic in nature. Yeah. When they decorated the room and put them all as bunk beds... That was the first time we saw Yang just go to town with her muscles.
Yeah.
But this one was just for comedy relief.
Yeah.
Like, just do.
Yeah. If I don't get doilies, you don't get fog machines.
That's when she throws the speaker at Weiss. Rapier.
Yeah, well. So,
I have nothing else.
yeah. I mean, we also had Osmond chatting with Ruby a little bit about not always being on the battlefield.
Yeah, enjoy the downtime because it's
Yeah.
rare when you get it.
Yes.
Which is essentially what they were trying to say to Blake.
Yes. Yeah. But Ruby, she just hates being frou-frou and girly.
Right.
she's
like,
still...
Can I put my hood back on now?
Yes. Can I get out of this? And she's like, how do I fight in these still?
Yeah.
Lady Stilts.
I love that line. Lady Stilts.
But it is interesting to see on the outside of their normal thing and their more fancier dress. You know,
Oh, yeah.
It's even though Osmond
no one
was
has
wearing,
their weapons on.
right. I mean, it's school grounds, so
They still walk around with them on them.
maybe during class time, but this
Yeah.
is But
Especially
Osmond,
like, Yang with her.
yeah, she didn't have them on.
That's why I was wondering if there's going to be a fight because no one has any weapons.
But Osmond, I think, was wearing this like his usual garb. I think.
Yes.
So, which is fancy enough, I guess, for
Except
a black tie event of some sort.
I think he switched out his normal collar piece for an actual bow tie. I think that was about it.
Yeah.
And he put on his fancy glasses.
His fancy glasses. He didn't have his cup of chocolate or tea or whatever it was. So.
No.
But. That was it.
Yep. That's. Very self-contained episode until we go to the next episode.
It did have some things that want
Yeah.
to further their the storyline.
Right.
It had something wrap up, at least with the Blake thing wrapping up, getting her out of her weird funk that she was in. And the point of that Yang just kind of gently shoving her is like, you're exhausted. What are you going to do if Torchwick walks in right now? I mean, you're so tired and you can't even stop me. How are you going to stop him? That was a very eye-opening I guess conversation.
Right.
It was more like a speech because it was really one-sided per se.
Yeah.
And it isn't just really. I mean, you can take it not just for the situation here in the show, but at any point, you let your obsession with something just go really off the rails. You can ruin stuff,
right?
And ruin yourself and whatnot. So, anyways, any other final thoughts before we wrap up?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of RWBY. We'll see you guys next time. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss any of the new episodes as they come out. We are at this point just about halfway through. If we're not halfway through, we're about to be halfway through. I can't remember whether that's 12 or 13 episodes this volume, but we're about halfway through. I'd say about halfway through.
Yeah.
So still got half a volume left to go, and a lot of stuff is gonna happen. So also check out our Patreon down there in the description below, and we will see you next time. Bye bye and be blessed.